Welcome to Vibes and Side Eyes, where the tea is hot and the takes are hotter.
Hey, it's your girl Maria J.
And I'm Taylor Made. Welcome to the pod where we discuss real life, pop culture, and everything in between.
We're bringing you the good vibes.
And the side eyes.
Let's get
Let's
into
get
it.
into it.
Welcome back, you guys.
Part
Hey.
two. Part two. You made it to the next level.
Yes, part 2 of conspiracy theories. We need to play the Unsolved Mysteries theme music at the beginning.
Yes, and then you won't see this video because we'll be copyrighted. And then that guy comes on today. Awesome. Creepy McCreeperson.
He is giving me like he works in a mortuary or something.
Yeah.
I still All right, you guys. So, yes, like Taylor May said, welcome to part 2 of the Conspiracy Theories podcast episode. A little disclaimer, since this is going to be just a continuation of our last episode, we will not be doing a vibe check or popcorn and opinions in the beginning, but hopefully y'all still had a good week and everything went okay. Let us know down in the comments. And if you did have a topic that you would like us to feature on our next episode of Popcorn and Opinions, link it down below in the comment section.
On part one, first off, thank you for watching part one. And if you haven't, please, I suggest that you watch that first and then come back over here. On part one, we ended off on aliens, which was such a highlight because we love that kind of stuff. And we're going to move on to missing flights. Dun, dun, dun. First off, while I'm pulling up my notes, Maria J, like, what's the first missing flight that you remember hearing about?
The first missing flight I remember hearing about, and I don't know like the exact flight number or anything, but I remember it happened, was it 10 years ago or so? I think it was. But and first of all, how does a whole flight end up missing? Like, what's happening? Where is the pilot getting told to take the plane? Because that makes no sense whatsoever. Like I said, I don't remember the exact details, but I do remember hearing about a story about a missing flight, and I don't think any of those people were recovered actually, but I think the plane ended up crashing and I don't think there were any survivors.
Oh. So like they came to find out that the plane did end up crashing. They eventually found the aircraft. Oh, okay. That does happen. Like sometimes it goes missing for many, many years, and then there's a hurricane, a tsunami, there's different things, life events, climate wise, that happen and uncovers a lot of different things. Things get shifted, and then all of a sudden, you find a whole aircraft. So yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're going to get into it, but there's just still some out there, though, that have never been found. My first one that I remember hearing about was the one we probably learned about in school, which was Amelia Earhart. That was my first introduction to really anyone going missing. We didn't know much on that back then, but I just remember being very fascinated with her story and all that. But that's probably one of the most famous, well, before like 10 or plus years ago, that was like the most famous one was Amelia Earhart.
But I think about like those different flights and stuff that go up missing. My first question is always who was on that flight? Like who stood out that was on that flight and why?
Definitely. We're going to talk about one just like briefly. The Malaysian airline, that is one that just will not get out of my brain. Like the Malaysian air flight, like they still have not found that aircraft. I mean, obviously there's thousands of theories, but they haven't found it yet. The earliest one that's recorded is Amelia Earhart. That was one of the most famous ones, like we said earlier, and the first one on record. The next one was a Flight 19 disappearance. It was 5 U.S. Navy planes lost in the Bermuda Triangle, which, if you know, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's very interesting. Yes. That was back in 1945. And I'm just going to read through these really quick. It's not that many of them, but just so you can get the gist of how many planes have gone missing. So in 1948, there was a British South American Airways Star Tiger disappearance. 1949, The same okay, the same one, British South American Airways Star Ariel. So they had two. So Star Tiger and Star Ariel. I wouldn't be flying with them again. Northwest Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 2501 disappearance. That was in 1950. 1962 Flying Tiger Flight 739 disappearance. 1963, it was Air France. And then 1979, this one was interesting because this one was I can't even think it's Varig flight. I can't, I'll spell it on here, but it's VARIG. This was a cargo plane with valuable artwork on it. So I think we know where that might have went. Somebody's house. In 2003, there was the Angola Boeing 727 disappearance, stolen aircraft that vanished. So someone stole the actual aircraft and then it just vanished out of thin air. 2008, you have but Gyp's Arrow disappearance. That was an Australian craft. So another 2008, it was the Brighton Norman Tri-Islander disappearance in the Atlantic Ocean. 2014 is where we're going to stop, and that is Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappearance. 239 people on board. Aircraft, it to this day is missing.
That is so crazy. How do you explain a whole missing aircraft and that number of people? Where are these people? Like who all, like I said, who all was on that plane? There's a known fact that we have seen this repeatedly over and over again when it comes to history. Like there could be three targeted people on that one flight, but the whole 239 has to go down just to get those three people. That is crazy.
So this flight had a lot of people on board. This is 200 and something people. I mean, think about any flight that you've taken. Obviously, it's just a melting pot. Like there's doctors, lawyers. Amongst this flight, you had engineers, you had business executives, you had tourists, you had students, skilled workers traveling for jobs abroad, etc. Many of these were Chinese nationals heading home from Malaysia. I heard that immediately. This was such a routine route. So it's just unheard of in general. But like this was it's kind of like if you think about Dallas to Atlanta. Think about how many times people go from DFW to Atlanta airport a day. It's like that. It's like these people, this was just so routine for people to do at the end of the week. Like they're going back, home. And for this particular one to go missing, it's just kind of odd. It just didn't seem like anything special or anything like that. Obviously, every single life on that flight was important, and every single life on that flight deserves for them to be found. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, the bodies will not probably ever be recovered if they did go down. Like that's if they even went down. But it's just like, how does 239 people vanish in thin air, Maria?
That is like the $1 million question. Like how does that even happen? But I'll tell you how I believe in my mind that it happens. It happens by crooked things behind the scenes. It happens by cover ups. It happens and you said something that stuck out to me. You're like, if they even, landed, like what if they're just still circling around in the air? But no, seriously.
Like, wait, the fuel. The fuel.
No, but seriously, it's like, where were they at? Like, did they get taken to like a secret location? Did they, like, what happened to those people? And I'm pretty sure that they had families that have and might still be looking for them, because I don't know, but I just feel like you as a family member, you can kind of feel if your loved one is still around or not. I think you would have that feeling. But that just doesn't make any sense. And what was the point of that whole plane going missing? Because
Exactly.
that's just unheard of.
Like, it's absolutely insane, and it happens to be the last plane that went missing that hasn't been found yet. I think there was a plane that went missing after it, I think a year or two later, but then they found the craft, right? This one, the craft has never been
Mm-hmm.
found to our knowledge. Now, you guys, this is really sad, and this part gives me literally heebie-jeebies. But yeah, the final radio message. At 1:19 a.m. Malaysia time, one of the pilots calmly said, "Good night, Malaysian 370." This was spoken to air traffic
Wow.
control as the plane was leaving Malaysia airspace and about to enter Vietnamese airspace. Investigators believe that the voice was likely the co-pilot Farik Abdul Hamid, though it was never 100% confirmed. Interesting, because wouldn't you be
Mm.
able to confirm a voice? But okay. What happened after? So what happened
Yep.
after was the aircraft's transponder, which sends location. So this is like after they've already said goodnight, all that stuff, which I think is routine. I don't think that's like a weird thing to say. I think that's routine for some of them to say, when they're, it's night and all that stuff. It says the
Mhm.
air traffic's transponder, which sends the location and ID data, was turned off minutes later.
Mm.
Military radar later detected the plane turning back across Malaysia. Several hours of automated satellite handshakes were recorded, which means like pings, like how our cell phones will ping if we were driving down a street. It'll ping on different towers. It's kind of like the same thing, but for airplanes. So they're saying the satellite
Mm-hmm.
handshakes were recorded, but no further voice communication was ever received again.
What in the world? Like, if
So
that doesn't
it's
scream suspicious, then I don't know what else. That's
suspicious.
crazy.
Like, minutes later, you guys, is when whatever happened, it started happening
Mm-hmm.
minutes later after the sign off, which is very, and they can't confirm if that was the pilot or co-pilot. That is weird.
So, do we think that maybe somebody was on that plane that hijacked the plane and something happened?
I mean, all I can go by is history and historical things. Usually that's when, a hijacker wants to get a certain message across, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
really trying to go missing. It's just trying to like either kill everybody or kill something in its path or whatever. Typically they slam
Mm-hmm.
into things like that. So why go completely missing, or how first, and then why go completely missing? Like, that's so
Mm-hmm.
odd to me. If it was a hijacking, it just doesn't follow the hijacking pipeline.
Yeah, because even at that, like with the hijacker, we would have they would have came back at some point. I mean, we would have heard of maybe some casualties, but the plane wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
just went missing. That
No.
is very strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. No demands were, mentioned, nothing. And I'm just like, that just
Mhm.
seems so odd to me. Another thing that's odd, because this was 2014, you guys,
Mhm.
we had cell phones. There were cell
Yeah.
phones in 2014, as far as I can recall. For not one person to be able to send a message out, no one called a loved one. That tells me, and probably
Mhm.
investigators allegedly, one thing: the people on the aircraft had no idea that events were taking
Yeah.
place. They had no idea
Mhm.
that because it does show that it turned around, like it said, to go back the opposite way almost. They had no idea. I
Mhm.
guarantee you, whatever happened after that good night sign off, people are, probably going to bed. This is a night flight, everybody's chilling out. What it tells me about the no pings is that no one knew that there was any type of emergency or anything to be worried about.
Ooh, that can go so many different ways. And I'm just thinking about it because I am thinking about like it being a night flight, then being sleep. Um, I don't know why I just thought about like maybe them getting sleeping gas or something like that. I'm thinking too hard, but
Oh, no,
um,
that's a good theory, because I'm like, everybody's not sleep.
yeah,
Obviously, on planes, everybody doesn't sleep, right? Especially kids. There were students
hmm
on that flight. So maybe, yeah,
yeah,
some gas. Yeah. Now, I will say, on one of the
some
documentaries, it was speculated that the co-pilot or the pilot or both could have had something to do with
mhm.
it. Just because everything just started happening right after the send off, which tells me even if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the pilots, it was someone who was already in that cockpit at that point, already telling
Yep.
them what to do and how to
Oh
do
yeah,
certain
it could
stuff.
have been something like that. Um,
Mm,
there's just it's a lot of different things that could have happened on that flight,
yeah,
but it's just like
Manifest
why?
is the show. It just came to me. Manifest is the show. If you want to watch it, it's such a good show on Netflix. I hate the ending, but the majority of the show is so good, and it is based off of this flight.
Oh yes, I'm gonna have to add that to my shows to watch. Now, Taylor Made is probably thinking like, "Girl, please," because I'm always that person that's like, "I need to watch this show," and it'll be like
Mm-hmm.
2 years later, and I'll be like, "Girl, I just watched such and such and such." But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's very interesting. But just to kind of like follow up on this episode, I'm definitely gonna take a peek of it, even if it's just like the
Please.
first episode, because
Yeah.
how does that many people go missing and
Yeah.
there's no other questions? Nobody's doing like a deep dive to try to find these people.
And I mean, there's documentaries about it, but I mean,
Mhm.
it's just goes in circles. It's like the Amelia Earhart. That I mean, I feel like those are the two most famous ones at this point.
Mhm.
Obviously, like I read earlier, there's a lot in between, but those two just seem to really pique a lot of people's interest. Obviously, the Malaysian ones, just because of the mass amount of people on there was actually insane. Now,
Mhm.
I will say I won't give away the show completely, but the premise of the show is basically these people, different walks of life. They all end up on this certain plane that's going to obviously the same location, and so they get on there and then they go missing. Well, to the people who are not on that plane, these people are just straight up missing for years and years and years.
Mhm.
Then, but the people on the plane, they get to their destination and they walk out and they're like, oh, like they immediately walk into, like as soon as the plane lands, there are police surrounding them. There's all this different stuff happening and they're like freaking out, like what's going on. And the
Mhm.
like it's just this commotion and they're like, who, where were y'all? It had been, I think, 10 years. To them
Oh
it
my
was
god.
just a flight, but to
Right.
anyone outside of that it had been a 10-year thing, and they only felt it as just one little flight. And there was a little
Mhm.
turbulence in between, but that was about it. Everything else was routine. So they had been gone for 10 years and didn't know it, had no recollection of time travel. And so I'll leave it there, and hopefully that gives you enough incentive to watch at least the first season.
Yes. That makes me think about because so little story time, of
Ooh,
course. So
ooh.
I had all of my four wisdom teeth pulled before. And so when I had that went up under that surgery, they put me to sleep. So, whenever you get
Mm.
put to sleep, they will count you down 10, 9, 8, and you just wake up and you might have been out for like a couple of hours whenever they bring you back. And then to you, it was just a snap of a finger. But for them, they
Yes,
actually seen the whole thing through. That is crazy. And it's like
yes.
what you saying that with the TV show, what if that actually happened to those people? Like
What if they
they
show
just
up in 10 years and are
yeah.
like, hey guys, and we're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all have been gone since 2014. A whole
Because
decade and some change.
yeah, and they said the route that they had started to take, obviously it started, it went away. They searched that area extensively. There's no plane crash there. And it's like they would have
Uh-huh.
eventually ran out of gas, like fuel.
Right.
So that adds
Mhm.
to the weirdness of it all. But just side note, on the whole anesthesia of it all, that is why I hate anesthesia, like going under. I always wake
Yep.
up crying profusely, like out of control for like the first 5 minutes of me waking up,
Mhm.
because my brain, like the concept of not having that time gap in my brain freaks me
Mhm.
out for some reason. And so apparently that's normal. A lot of people freak out after waking up from anesthesia, and it's pretty common. And I'm one of those people because I don't
Mhm.
understand that. I just went to bed
Yes.
at all.
Right.
At all. All right, you guys, we spent a good chunk of time on that. So let's move on to our next topic.
Let's go ahead and dig into reincarnation.
Ooh. What's your opinion on reincarnation? Do you believe it?
I do, and then I don't. But I more of do. The reason why is because I don't know. I think you can come back as different things.
Okay.
And I feel like everybody has like a past life. And we're gonna kind of dig in there too when we go over a different topic tonight. But I feel like people have been here before, like, and I think it's like a different cycle. Like, I know I've heard that, you know, you can die and come back, and that's like a second chance. But you, of course, you have like a different body and a different
Mhm.
personality and all this other stuff. But like certain stuff, you do get to relive again. And I don't know, but I just feel like there is definitely something to it, for sure.
Yeah, I feel
Mhm.
exactly the same. I mean, obviously, there's no hardcore proof, but there's just been too many like documentaries I've watched, too many shows I've watched about people having past life regression, I believe is what it's called. Like, basically, the memory of this past life. And I mean, you're talking about kids who are like barely speaking. We're talking 2, 3, 4 year olds saying about their
Yep.
past life and how they died, and then the parent googles, and sure enough, that person existed on earth a while back and they died exactly like that. Or if they can't even
Mhm.
say, oh, it was a plane crash, they may say, I was in the air and then I crashed. Like, maybe they don't know that they're in a plane or whatever. Like, they just have certain details about even the death part
Mhm.
of it that is just way too, like, there's no way a 3 year old's googling. I'm so sorry.
Right.
I'm so
Mhm.
sorry, there's just no way.
Yeah, I feel like reincarnation is very much a thing, and I don't know, but I know it was funny because we were saying like if we died and came back, what we want to come back as, and as long as it's not, as long as it's not, no insects, please, because I don't have time for it.
Don't want to come back as a dolphin. I cannot come back as a dolphin, you guys. That is the one thing that's going to make me mad. I'm going to immediately jump on land and
Y'all finish
put
that
the
thought
show.
process, right?
And I'm going to stay on land. Let's just put it that way. Chop me up in some sushi. I'm done because I don't
Not
have
the
no will.
sushi.
But I would like to be a dinosaur. I can't explain it. I won't discuss it further. I won't explain. But I will want to be a dinosaur. That's fine.
Think
Hmm.
that would be cool though. I mean, I feel like dinosaurs had good lives. They
Until they didn't.
for one thing, they can protect themselves. Right. And then there's that part.
Right.
But they can protect themselves pretty good. They, you know, roam the earth freely.
For a very
They
long
really didn't have any
time.
enemies, anything. Yeah, they could hold their own. I think a dinosaur is cool. It's like a cross between a monster and like a reptile. I always think about what was his name? Reptar in Rugrats when I think about dinosaurs.
Cut the show. We're done. She's not taking it seriously. She's about to say something real profound, talk about Jurassic Park or something. This girl said Raptor, Reptar. My
Yeah.
lord.
No, but that would be neat though. I think if I wanted to come back as something, I would want to be. I don't know. I know I would for sure want to be an animal. Probably not a bird. Something could definitely.
I've already been a bird in this lifetime. Wasn't very
Right.
fun.
Bye. Definitely something that could hold their own. Maybe like a lion or something like that. Like be a safari animal for sure.
Oh, wow. I'm eating everybody on them safari trips immediately. Why are you in my home? This is intrusion.
Right.
You must want to be a
Hmm.
snack. So say you went to glory, God forbid, but you go, well, we do want you to go glory, but you know what I mean, like not too soon.
Yeah.
Pretend you go to glory, and then he's
Hmm.
like, no, 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 redo, redo. You come back. Do you want to know that you were reincarnated? Do you want to be one of those people, or do you want to just be dropped back down with no memory of anything and just start completely from scratch?
Drop me down with no memory. Erase me because I feel like that would be better. I feel like if I got dropped back down, well, I take that back. Okay, so let me retract that. So one, yes, if I could get dropped back down with memory, at least I would know the different things maybe not to do. I would know it like a different way to navigate it and restart some things. But if I had to be dropped back down and didn't have memory, like let me just start from a clean slate and we could just go from there.
I would want to have the memory. I think I'm one of those. Just because of one of the things you said, like, I feel like I would want to come back knowing that I need to push harder or like love more or not worry as
Mhm.
much. Like, I think just the one thing of not worrying as much would make me have a better lifespan or better quality of life. You just now for sure life is short and it's like you get a redo. I would want to know,
Yeah.
even if I lost the memory moving
Mhm.
forward, because that's usually what happens. Like the kids know it when they're really young because it's just so close to that time, that veil or whatever. But then as they get older,
Mhm.
they don't really talk about it as much because it's not as fresh and they maybe don't remember it, things like that. But
Hmm.
I will say, and that's a good segue. Okay, I was about to go into deja vu, but that's actually a good segue because I was going to say, what if deja vu for us is remembering some past life and you're getting deja vu because you did that before? You literally, which is the
Yes.
definition of deja vu feeling. But what if you
Mhm.
literally did do it before?
Mhm.
Maybe not even as the same
Yeah.
person, which is scary.
Uh-huh. Right. And I always feel like that's such a weird feeling because you'll literally be in the moment of something, like something will jog your memory and you be like, I did this before. And I promise
Yes.
you, every time that I've had that feeling, I have to say it out loud. I've done this before. And then I just keep
Yes.
on going. And I'm just
Yes.
like, where does that come from?
It's just the creepiest thing. And as I've gotten older, it's more creepy because it's just like my brain is fully formed and I'm just like, no, 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 this is not just like this random phenomenon. Like, girl, you done been in this coffee shop before. This is crazy. Like that man said exactly what he just said to you 5 seconds
Hmm.
ago. He said that before. Like little things like that. Like, I mean, even my mom can say stuff sometimes and I'm like, she's about to turn left right there and she'll turn left because I'm like, I remember this. That kind of stuff
Hmm.
is creepy. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I've had a lot of those experiences just throughout life. I feel like everyone does. I think that's why deja vu is like a thing.
Hmm.
The reason for it, though, is kind of interesting. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, because there was this one experience. So me and my friend, we were in this neighborhood and we were just kind of passing through, I think just trying to navigate through some traffic. And
Hmm.
so we got to this particular neighborhood and I'm like, we both had the same thought at the same time. We like, we have been in this neighborhood before. Like this house looks familiar.
Wow.
Why that house was one of the ones off of the street that we said we know this house, like it feels like something. And I'm just like, that is so strange. Like it really gives you like an eerie feeling because then your
It
mind starts
does.
to wonder and you're like what connection do I have with what I just witnessed?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is
Mhm.
crazy because it's like, what? It just like really interrupts. I mean, this is not one of the topics on there, but some people believe we're in assimilation. And I feel like that's one of the biggest strong points, probably, of us
Yep.
being in assimilation. Believe me, I don't want to believe that because that just freaks me out. And I don't like that. Like, unplug me immediately. Like, don't
Yes.
play with my heart. But, I will say that is one of the strongest points because that would make so much sense. If you are in assimilation and then because you're just looping and looping, you would get
Mhm.
deja. That would be a side effect, right? So that's
Yep.
interesting to me. I feel like it plays a little bit. We don't have to get into dreams, but it does play a little bit into the dream thing too. A lot of people say dream world is just it is a real world and it's just a place you
Yep.
either have been before because a lot of people have reoccurring dreams or it's a place
Mhm.
that it's just a different place and you're going to another dimension or place. It's a whole thing. That's a rabbit hole. That's a whole episode we could do on dreams because that's a whole
Yes.
other
You will definitely have to do an episode on dreams because we need to talk about
yeah
dreams for sure.
for
And it's weird too. And I'll just say this real quick, but some dreams, like you said, you'll have reoccurring dreams, and then some of them they'll be the same a little bit, but then something in them changes. And I'm just like,
That be the one. That be the one.
yes. And I always hate when I'm having a dream where like maybe a question that I had in before I fell asleep or whatever is about to get answered, and then my dream gets interrupted. Let me go back to where I was so I can find out what was
I can
happening.
never get back. I'm not one
No.
of those people. I think you can train yourself to do that, and we're gonna talk about it more. But like,
Mhm.
I feel like you can train yourself to get back into it really quickly, or write it down really quick so you can get back into it. But I've never been able to
Yeah.
fully get back into it. I think maybe once or twice where I've woken up in like a haze and been like, oh, that wasn't real. And I go right back.
Mhm.
But if I fully wake up, fully, there's no way I can lay back down and just like go jump back into my dream. I wish I could.
I know. And then let me
Yeah,
ask you this, because I know we're not gonna stay on it long, but do you dream in black and white, or are your dreams in color? Or
color,
both?
color,
Okay.
always
Yep.
color. That's why a lot of my dreams feel super real. But anyway, what about you?
No, yes, I dream in color as well. Absolutely.
Color gang. Okay, so yeah, did you have any other things you want to add about deja vu? Like, do you think everyone gets deja vu?
I'll say yes. Is everybody in tune to what they're actually experiencing? Probably not. But yes, I
Mm,
do think everybody gets it. Mhm.
okay, I think so too. And that's a good segue into the paranormal world because I think that's also something that happens to everyone, but only a few people tune into it.
That is a good one. So I know that there are a couple of states, Connecticut being one, where a lot of different things happen there. What's your take on a state, like a whole state being haunted? Where do you think that stems from?
Oh, energy. I am a
Mhm.
huge believer in residual. Thank you. Residual. I don't know who I'm
Mhm.
thanking. Residual energy.
Chris Brown. Bye.
Right. Thank you so much. Residual energy is because it's residual. Cut the
You
show.
like Chris
Cut the
Brown? What?
show.
Wait.
It's all connected. It's all connected. Stand you for that. Like, what did she say, Chris Brown? Now back to residual. Oh, you kind of ate with that, sis. You ate. No crumbs. I am a huge believer in residual energy. So I actually feel like most times when people think things are haunted, they're actually just experiencing residual energy. Let me explain.
Mhm.
If I grew up in a house and like I gotta be careful with my words, but say I grew up in a house that was just completely toxic, very tumultuous, like fighting happening, a lot of just like bad things. Just think of all the bad things that could happen in a home, the worst things you've heard, all these different things. The people move out for whatever reason, these people are gone now. The next people to come
Mhm.
in there, they could maybe come in and the house is completely clean, it's renovated, all these things, but a person can still come into that house and feel dread and sorrow and all these things. Why? It's probably not actively haunted, like there's probably no one like a ghost around, but like there was
Mhm.
so much that happened in one space that it created residual energy. And so if you are
Mhm.
sensitive enough, which I am one of those people, that's why I can't go to plantations and different things, go in there and you could feel a certain way, you really could. And so
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's why people would, I do think a state could be haunted, or really more of like a city. I would say more of a city could be haunted. New Orleans is a
Mhm.
good example.
Yes. Yes. People say Bourbon Street in New Orleans, you feel a lot of different things on Bourbon Street. And I was
They
like,
know.
"Ooh."
I'm scared to go.
Mhm.
I have not been to New Orleans and I have the means to go to New Orleans. I've been having the means to go to New Orleans and I've just never gone
Mhm.
because I'm so nervous about
Yeah.
feeling too much there, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm sensitive.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't know about y'all, but like I'm one of those people where depending on what the energy is feeling like, I don't know, but I am a believer of different things like attaching themselves to you. And I know
Yes.
like you have to, invite it and all of that different stuff. We
Yeah.
won't even get
Yeah.
into all of that, but
Hmm.
I'm just like, so yeah, same
Yeah.
kind of feelings with that. I'm kind of nervous when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, just thinking about it creeps me out. It creeps me
Yes.
out. I don't know. It's something about New Orleans I've been avoiding. Like every year, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Essence Fest. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna that. And then videos will come
Hmm.
on my timeline about certain things that are in New Orleans, which is not on our, list to talk about. But even vampires, there's a lot of different things that's been talked
Yeah.
about. And then after seeing Sinners, I'm like, uh-huh. And
Yes.
yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I feel like New Orleans is one of those cities that is a melting pot of energy and real
Mm-hmm.
things going on too. Not just energetically, but like actively happening. So it's a lot. I don't know. Have you been to New Orleans?
I have not. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, let's on the
That-
next episode.
yeah.
Have you been to
Hmm.
New Orleans?
I have not. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, let's on the
There,
next episode.
there is a movie that I believe came in the late '90s, if I'm not mistaken. But are you familiar with the movie Eve's Bayou with Samuel Jackson and Megan Good and Martin Luther King's granddaughter? Her name is escaping me.
Now, there are
Yes.
several movies that give me the heebie bajeebies, and that is one of them.
Hmm.
I can never sit down and watch it all the way through. It gives me the ultimate
Oh,
creeps. It's just
yes.
something about that movie is odd to me. So yes, I've seen it in parts and
Mhm.
bits. And total, I've seen the whole movie. I know how it ends and all that, and I'm just like, it gives me a yucky feeling. I don't like it.
No, so we are not gonna stay there at all. But those type of things, when you were talking about New Orleans, that's what it's giving me. So that's why I'm like,
Yes,
no.
exactly,
Hmm.
and that is why I
Yeah.
feel like, you know what though, I would be down with. But also, let's go for content. I would be down. But also, let's go this Halloween season. Like I would be down going 24 hours or 24 to 48 hours in New Orleans if we go together. If we did that in October and did some tours, I would only do that with you,
Hmm.
and we would have to film for some, like somehow film it.
Yes.
So I'm just putting it out.
Hmm. We may have an update for y'all later on in the fall season of 2026. Stay tuned for that.
Exactly. We going on a road trip.
Hmm.
And if I don't make it back, she did it. Um
Absolutely not.
Put it on record now. I'm just kidding. Did you like that movie though? Did you like Eve's Bayou? It's a staple. It's a black
um,
staple movie.
like is such a strong word for that movie. um,
Yeah.
did I appreciated the actors, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah. Hmm.
But it did like show a lot of different things in that movie where I'm just like, and
Hmm.
we that could well I don't I don't even think that we would agree on doing a whole podcast on the different things like that. Because absolutely, absolutely not.
That's gonna be a negative, Roger.
Right.
I can't.
But just to kind of sum it up, that's one of those movies like you just see it once, maybe twice and you cool on it.
That
To
part.
sit back and keep looking at it, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That makes me think about the movie Talk to Me. I seen it once and I'm cool. I don't want to see
I've
it no
never
more.
seen that.
I don't remember the leading
Sorry.
actors in their movie, but I would definitely put a clip up like just of the cover of the movie in here. But yeah, that movie was about a lot letting a lot of different spirits into a vessel, and I'm cool
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, yeah. Those are hard to watch. It's hard.
Mhm.
Even like scary
Yep.
movies these days, and I know you're a big scary movier. I can only do so much, just
Right.
because like as I've grown up, like when I was younger, I love scary movies, but I feel like they're a
Mhm.
lot different now. They're a lot more different
They
now
are.
because of
Yeah.
technology, you can get more graphic, and it's just a little too much.
Mhm.
It's a little too real. It's a little too feeling of I don't know. It's just a lot. I can still watch the Halloween movies and all that, but like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, man, I can't do the new scary ones. You're brave. I cannot do it.
Well, and with that being said, I'm very selective on the new ones that I do go and watch because some of them,
Yeah,
like you said, it's just too much. And then
yeah.
that's like the what was the last movie that they came out with, and they had like a priest at the showing of it, and I'm just like, no, I'm cool. I'm not doing it.
What? Oh, was it Conjuring?
Yes, and I said no, I'm not
Okay.
watching that.
I ain't watched not one Conjuring because I just know it. Oh God, no, no,
Yes.
no. I can't do it. I can't explain it. I don't know why I'm like that, but like I can just. It's the energy of it all. I don't know,
Right.
but
And it's so crazy because you know how like you'll be on social media nowadays and people will DM you and be like, "Oh love, I seen your profile picture and you're just giving me this kind," and I'm just like, "What in
yes,
the
I block
yes.
immediately. And they'll sometimes they'll
Yes.
comment on your picture. They've done it on TikTok
Mhm.
before as well. I do. I don't even play like that. I will see some people follow me, not say anything yet, but they just follow me, and I'll go to their page just to see who they are, and it says goddess blah blah blah, and I block
Yes.
immediately. Like that is, I do not play around with that. But yes, I have also
No.
gotten those. I don't like it. It feels
Mhm.
yucky. It feels very, very yucky. And they could be saying positive things. Like literally, I've had some say, "Hey, I need to tell you something." But
Yeah.
mostly, but I've also gotten, "Hey, you have this great energy around you. Can I tell you?" But I find it interesting, and this is why I will do or would do a whole podcast with you about sinners, because that
Mhm.
was just, oh my god, the mini nuggets in that film was just amazing. But it
Yes.
taught me something, and I didn't think about it like that until I saw Sinners. It's like,
Mhm.
why can't they just come and tell you? They have to ask
Right.
what? Permission.
Permission. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I got chills. I got
Yep.
chills. Because it's
Mhm.
like, are you going
Mhm.
to allow me to tell you that? And it's odd. It's just this same code. And I know these aren't same people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it's across different platforms. I know it's not the exact same person. And I'm just like, this person even has to ask. So I find that so interesting. Like in
Mhm.
Sinners, I have to welcome you in. And so ever since I saw
Yep.
Sinners, that made me look at those people so much differently.
Yes, that makes a good point, and that yes, we will have to do a podcast on that movie
Mm-hmm.
because,
So
and
good.
shout out to everybody that was in Centers like Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo, y'all did amazing.
Yes, yes.
Ryan Coogler for even coming up with the idea of Centers.
Oh,
That is an amazing movie. Yes.
so good. So good. Great movie for the culture as well. So many lessons in that.
Mm-hmm.
I never realized that vampires couldn't just be, oh, I'm going to suck your blood. Vampires can be energy
Yep.
suckers. And
Yes. Yes.
that's the gag. That's the gag. And I've
Mm-hmm.
actually felt like I've met some of those. I really have. You ever talked to someone or met someone and they just completely drained your soul? Like
Oh my
drained you.
gosh. Yes. That can be a whole segment
That
because
can.
you have like you can be a person that has like a bubbly spirit, happy go lucky, you're just in a certain mindset. You talk to this person all the time, they're always negative, something always is going bad in their life, nothing ever positive. And then after you get done dealing with that person, you like, "Oh my gosh, did something happen to me?" And it's like, "No,
Yes.
you took on their energy." So they
Yes.
took all the positivity from you, and then now you're feeling away, and they're on going about their business. But weren't
Yes.
you just the one that was in your feelings? Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
triggered.
I'm telling, yeah, it's a real thing out there, and whether the person knows it or not, I'm not saying they're fully aware of what they do or who they are, but I do feel like some of them do. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so we're gonna go up with a sinners
Yeah.
episode, you guys. Are you writing this down? No, just kidding. We got so many things. We got so many ideas. I love it.
Yes, the possibilities are endless, y'all.
Did you have anything
Yeah.
to add? Like, have you been in somewhere that was haunted or anything like that?
So I'm not gonna make this awkward, but I do have a story time.
Okay.
Um, The home that I grew up in,
Mhm.
um, towards the end of me leaving that residence, some strange things started to happen.
Okay.
Not too sure why they started to happen, but I remember this one morning I was getting ready for church, and there's like a whole backstory to that, but it's a lot to go down, so I'm just gonna keep it basic. But I was
Okay.
getting ready for church, and you know how you'll have like your body wash chilling inside of your shower, and it's like on the soap bar where you can just sit
Mhm.
it up there, where I had a brand new bottle of body wash, so that has weight to it. It's not going to
Mhm.
slide or move or anything.
Right.
So I am getting ready for church, and I had just got out the shower. So I was writing on the wall, I love Jesus, right?
Mhm.
And tell me why the bottle of soap flew down on the tub floor. And I said, oh, so I went ahead and opened up my door to like
Mhm.
let the air
Let
and
it
stuff to
on
come in.
out. Go on and get on out.
Yes. So I could go ahead. Oh, that just gave me chills. Please. Okay.
Mm.
So and I let the mirror and everything just clear off. But I'm like, how in the world did that full bottle of body wash fly off of it? Because it wasn't like it was anything there that would make it slide or move or anything. And I
Right.
know the difference between a fall and a throw. So I was
Right.
like, oh yeah,
Right.
this is giving I'm ready to move.
Yes,
But yeah, like
absolutely.
yes, different things like that have, taken place. Not explainable. And it's not like I actually felt like a weird energy in there
Mhm.
until like around this time. And this was like around 2012,
Okay.
2013. And I'm just
Okay.
like, it's too much stuff happening in this year. And personally, for me, I don't know, if you remember anything around 2012, but I hated 2012. So much stuff happened in that year, and
Yeah.
it was just a lot.
It was a doozy.
Yeah, yes, I feel like whatever blew into the atmosphere, like how a cold front will roll in, something just
Yeah.
just blew on in, and it
Yes.
had life twisted and turned, and I'm like, it hadn't been right since then.
Yeah.
Like I don't know y'all, but something happened. Y'all let me know. Let us know down in the comments if you remember anything about 2012,
That's
because
how
if
I
I
feel
could go
about
back in time and
2022.
change that year, yeah,
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
that's how I feel about
it
2020
can
as well.
just
Something shifted and it hasn't felt right since.
yeah,
Like, so I get that feeling.
mm-hmm,
I've had a lot I mean, I've had a lot of different experiences. I'll spare you all of those, but like a few of those things were like premonitions. I didn't know they were premonitions at the time, and actually I've never had one again to that degree, but there was one when I was about, oh gosh, I think I was like maybe 8 or 9. We were all sitting at
mm-hmm,
IHOP. It was me, my aunt, and my grandmother. And I was sitting on one side of the table with my mom next to me. And then my grandmother and my aunt were sitting on the other side. And this is like just a place we
mm-hmm,
always go to or whatever. So we're just sitting there. And like I just remember looking above my grandma's head and I was like, I see a boy. I just started talking and just started saying, I see a boy in overalls. Mima, there's
mm-hmm,
a boy in overalls right there. And my mom immediately was just like, Taylor, what are you talking about? And I'm like, and that was my first clip because I'm like 7 or 8. So I'm like really not like Anaya's like seven right now. So like I was just like not probably even understanding what I was seeing because it was so clear. It was like right above her head, and I was like, but
uh-huh,
it looked like a little cloud bubble almost.
mm-hmm,
And I just remember seeing a boy, and it's like he had ran up to where it was. Like he ran up to it, and I could see he had overalls on, and just looked like he
mm-hmm,
was probably playing or something. And then he just kind of ran up to it, like as though I'm seeing him and he's seeing me. And
mm-hmm,
I just started describing the boy, and Mima just my grandmother, she just started bursting in tears. So of course, like I'm 7 or 8, I'm like, what the I didn't do anything. I'm thinking I'm in trouble. So I started crying myself. I was like, what's going on? And my Mima was like, what's his name? Who is it? And I was like, Uncle so
mm-hmm,
and so. I think it was Leroy or something with an L. I think I can't remember now, and it's someone I never met, right?
mm-hmm,
And so I said it,
uh-huh,
and I said, yeah, he says hi, and it's like my mom was like Taylor, and I was like, what? And she's like, you know who that is? And I was like, no, it was my grandmother's brother.
Wow.
I just got fucking chills. I don't like it. Sorry, bleep that
Yes.
out. Sorry. But I just got chills because I remember to this day, like, the feeling of being like, why are y'all tripping out? Like, can you not see? I was just like a 7-year-old. So I'm just like, he
Right.
says hi. Like, what the hell? He says hi. Well, he died
Mm,
many years ago. Oh, okay. Well, dang. Okay, that's
yeah.
crazy. But at the moment, it was so sincere. And my mom, I remember my mom. I started doubting myself years later because my mom was just like, Taylor, are you making this up? Like, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. But then, like, after being asked that so many times, and then I'm getting older, so I'm realizing that that's probably weird that I saw that. I started thinking, I was like,
Yeah.
well, maybe I made it up. Like, I think I made it up. And so, yeah, like, yeah, I made it
Mhm.
up. But, like, how would I know his, like, name? And how would I be like, why would I not say he's waving to everyone at the table? I didn't say that. I said he's waving to you, Mima. Like, he's waving to you.
Mhm.
It was a whole
Yeah.
thing. So something that she never
Wow.
forgot up until the day she died. My mom still brings it up every now and then. She's like, "Do you remember?" Because now we know that that's called a premonition or some type. I think that's called a premonition of some sort. And that
Mhm.
I've never had anything like that happen ever, ever, ever again. I felt things before in places
Wow.
for sure. If I go into
Mhm.
somewhere and it feels off, I'm like, "Oh Lord." I've definitely had that
Mhm.
happen before. I've heard things before and maybe seen things in peripheral, but nothing
Yeah.
like what I saw that day. Never again did I
Mm.
see it like that. Yeah.
And that's crazy because your grandma could have probably been having like thoughts of him or wondering how he's doing or just
Mhm.
having him on her mind and
Yeah.
you were the
He was like,
messenger.
"Hey."
Yep.
Yeah, I think what happens is I get freaked out and then the experience it just whether that's God doing that or whatever, it's like, okay, no, she's too scared. Like she's not open to it. It's like, okay, she's not open to
Mhm.
it.
But I think that's amazing how some people do have like those different premonitions and can feel stuff or see things
Mm-hmm.
and you have that ability to go tell that person. It's neat. I know it can be like real deep and scary at
Yeah.
times, but that's a cool thing to be able to touch into.
The only weird thing about it is like you just said, like I can literally go into a random building and automatically I'm like, oh boy, what happened here? It's like that, but it's weird because
Yeah.
that's how like
Mhm.
psychic mediums talk. But then like they see stuff. I don't see stuff.
Yes.
I only feel it. Right? I only feel it, and
Mm,
it's just like if it was a dreadful play, like something bad happened. Like I feel dread. Like I feel sad. I feel like I need to cry. I feel all those things, but I don't have that psychic medium thing of seeing anything, which I think I'm okay with that.
mhm. Right.
I'm gonna go off on the limb and say I don't think I think God knows I can't handle that. Like I truly cannot handle that. Seeing anything like
Yes.
to that degree.
Mhm.
But yeah, have you done that? Like, have you gone? Like, is that something you do? Have you been into a house or like someone else's house or something like that, or another building or something, and just immediately felt like no, it doesn't have to be dread. Just like, this feels a little odd in here.
No, absolutely. There's this house that I sometimes pass, and I'm just like, I don't
Mm,
like the look of this house. Like, I can
mm-mm.
tell something happened here, and it's like
Yes,
you can't explain it, but I'm pretty sure. Like,
yes,
if I'm just looking at the house and tell something, I'm pretty sure if I go in there, I'ma actually I'ma spaz
exactly,
out because
exactly.
you can just tell different things. That's even
Yeah.
like with talking to people or being around people. You can just feel that energy and it's so strong though. And you can actually feel how like you walk into a room and say you have a TV on, but no pictures on, but you can feel that the TV is on. That's
Oh
exactly how
yes.
it feels.
That is
Mhm.
such a good. Oh, that is such a good way to put it.
Because it's
Yeah.
like and even if you don't hear the sound, like you can have the TV on mute, but just that it's on,
Yes.
you can feel it.
Oh,
Yes.
girl, there's a reason why we're friends.
It is.
We are, girl.
What
We
up,
here. We see
Gwen?
each other. What up,
Yes.
Quinn? Don't. Okay, okay. Hold it down. Don't get me started. Oh my gosh, you guys. This has been great. I mean, we have one more little quick thing to talk about. We'll make it real quick for you guys, we promise. But we're gonna give you a little extra tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Near death experiences. Ooh, you wanna
Mm-hmm.
start it off?
Yes, I will go ahead and tap into this. Oh, yes, here it goes. So the name of the movie, it came out in 2014 and it was called Heaven is for Real. So
Yes.
yes, you remember that one? So the little
Mhm.
boy, he did have a near death experience and he seen God's face in the movie, everything that has to do with heaven and
Yeah.
the different vibes that you feel. And he was
Mhm.
just wanting to come back and tell the experience. So, his parents was looking at him like, boy, what are you talking about? You crazy? But the more that he kept talking about it and saying different key things, his parents were
Mhm.
clue in on him. He was like, okay, maybe he is onto something. And then he
Yeah.
finally turned them over to be like, okay, he really did experience this. But I
Yes.
feel like you definitely can have different situations like that. And not even to go, too deep biblically, but there's different testaments in the Bible that speak about people having those near death experiences. And I
Mhm.
know there's one story in the Bible, he wanted to come back and tell his brother about the experience, but
Uh-huh.
he wasn't able to. But different things like that,
Mhm.
definitely, I feel like there's so many different claims on like YouTube and people
Yes.
saying what they've seen, and I'm just like,
Yes.
wow, it brings a lot of question.
I heard about. I don't think I ever even watched the full movie or show. I think it was a movie, right? I never watched the
Uh-huh.
movie, but I did see him go on, like, I think he went on Oprah. He did like a whole press tour, and I heard and saw a lot of clips about it,
Hmm.
and I got the gist of everything that he was saying, and simply amazing. They have no reason to lie. That's also why I believe them.
Hmm.
They have no reason to lie, especially like a little boy. What would he gain? Or, like, I mean, obviously he got a movie, but like, who would have thought? He just came back and just started saying things. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There was no agenda there.
Hmm.
I don't know.
No. That makes me think about too, and I will definitely try to get through this without tearing up. Don't want to mess up my makeup. But no, so that makes me think about my grandmother when she was in the hospital in 2017. And I know it was close to her about to leave, but she, I believe, had a vision and she was telling us, like, I wish I could take y'all with me because whatever she's seen, and we still to this day do not know, but it had to be horrific because, well, I'll say it was horrific because of how she said it. Like it wasn't like a happy I wish I could take y'all with me because where I'm going, but it was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like a caution statement. And I'm just like, wow. So I feel like with near death experiences or when you know that you're about to leave, there's a vision that's given to you. You see something, you feel something, and that in itself is amazing because it's kind of like giving
Mm-hmm.
you preparation for your exit.
I have a question for you.
Mhm.
If you had that kind of experience, like the boy had, and you had basically flatlined, you had this crazy experience, do you think you would have some, because there's some reactions when they come back and they're like, I did not want to come back. And then there are some people who are like, oh, I'm so glad I get to come back and tell you guys and do things different. And but there's two, I've seen and heard of two different ways that people go about it. But there have been people who was like, I did not want to come back here, get out. What do you think?
Yeah.
If you had that experience, I know it's kind of hard to say because you haven't had the experience, but if you think, if you did, how do you think you would be? Which one would you, you know what I'm saying? Which one would you be?
I wish I had a twin because part of me I would love to come back and let everybody know, like, hey, this is what y'all have to look forward to. Once, we all get to come back together, we're going
Mm-hmm.
to be up here and this is what this looks like and, all of this good stuff. But then at the same time, it's like in present time, looking at the way the world is going now, take me.
Right.
I'm okay.
Hold me in your arms. Close the
Yeah,
gates. Close the gates.
yeah, right,
Close the gates.
right. If
If you
y'all
know,
know
you
that
know.
reference, you know that reference. Yes. But no, I think that's amazing to no, well, and for me, I feel like it would be comforting, and I would love to come back and tell, because it's like, so this whole time that we've had hope of there being another side and something to
Mm.
look forward to after death, like it's legit. It's actually gonna be like
Yeah,
that. So of
yeah,
course, I'll be ecstatic to come back and say something.
for
What
sure.
about you?
Well, first off, I
Hmm.
want to say that one of the scariest things to me is death, in my opinion, because no
Hmm.
one can, and we're talking about people who have gone and come back, and essentially, technically, they do flatline and then they are able to resuscitate. So I guess people can come back and tell the tale, but like technically, we have no way of proving it, right? With this, it's not like you can just put a camera up there and be like, you know what I'm saying? It's not something
Right.
tangible. We have to just all know for ourselves
Hmm.
when it happens. Like that's the only way to know. And there's nothing in this life that is that to that degree. Other there's nothing in this life that is more potent than life, like coming in and
Hmm.
going out. That is like the most
Yeah.
crazy experience that you only can experience yourself, right? Because we don't remember coming in, obviously, but we will feel, or you know what I'm saying, we'll have knowledge of going out, if that makes any sense. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I don't
Yep.
remember being in the
Hmm.
womb, but I will be, like if I'm on a deathbed, then I know I'm on my deathbed, if that makes sense. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I'm a Christian. I consider myself a Christian. I may not be a same Christian as a lot of people, but I am a Christian. There's some things I do
Mhm.
not agree with, but yeah. Overall, I feel like I do still call myself a Christian.
Mhm.
I even being a Christian and growing up in Christianity and all the things like, and you're told don't fear death, don't fear death, don't fear death, but I'm like, I feel like that's pretty natural to feel the fear. It's not even that I'm fearing, it's just like the fear of the unknown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for
Mhm.
me to answer your question, if I went over there and I saw certain people, no, I would not want to come back because the heartache of losing them once
Mhm.
was already something. So to think that that could happen again, it's like if you know you're gonna put me back down there, don't let me see so and so, because if I see so and so,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like that dolphin. Okay, I'll just say, put me back on the land and let me go. Uh, because it's like you're losing them twice. I don't want to lose them
Mhm.
twice. So it's like, if you're gonna show me around other places and things or whatever, and then give me a message and send me on my way, fine.
Yep.
I'll tell everyone about it. No problem.
Mhm.
So that's the stipulation.
Or we have to work out some kind of agreement where I can bring them back with me.
That part, 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Something is gonna have to happen. Like
Yeah.
when we on different panels, if we go on live and you have different chairs that you can fill up, I need those people to be coming back with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This
Mhm.
has nothing to do technically with coming back, but I just want to ask real quick before we close. Comas. People who are in comas.
Mhm.
Do you feel like they are gone? They're already up there to be with them? Or do you feel like it's this purgatory dream state that they are in until they either do go or they come back? What do you think about comas?
I definitely think, like you said, purgatory. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
they are, because they're very much, their subconscious is still working, so they're here, they're
Right.
with you, and I feel like you just keep talking to them, and they still, and I feel like that is like kind of like a decision state. Am I ready to go, or am I
Yeah.
just kind of in that in between stage? And I definitely feel like they are. Um, I still feel like they do have life, and I feel like they are. Ooh, that's a good topic on its own. I don't know how I want to put that. I can't find the words to put that, but I do feel like they are still in a state where they're still here. Like I don't feel like they're
Mm-hmm.
gone, not at
Yeah.
all.
Like they're gone at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. I was just wondering
That
because
was
it just came into my brain. I was like, what about comas and stuff like that? Life support
mhm.
and all that. stuff, because you hear people say like they squeeze my hand or something like that, or like
Yeah.
you say something and you see their eyeballs moving but not open, but like you just see some type of activity when a certain person comes
Mm-hmm.
around, or they hear a certain voice and they're not technically supposed to be hearing anything. So that proves that you think that they can't hear you. And they tell people that a lot
Mm-hmm.
that are in comas, to they say please talk to them, talk to them.
Yep.
And I don't even think that was happening at first, but it's so many phenomenons phenomenons that happened like that, that
Mm-hmm.
doctors and stuff started playing into it, like dang, that might work. Actually talk to George.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to
Yeah.
George, maybe he might come back. We done seen it too many
Right.
goddamn times at this point. You know what I mean?
Okay, so that leads me to this question. So you know how some people can be, hospitalized or in a nursing home, and it's almost on their time to go. But they don't talk to anybody of the family that comes around. One person comes and they start talking like they feel better, like they just have a second breath. What do you feel
Right.
about that?
I mean, I think again it comes down to energy. I think love is so much of I think it's such a strong thing. I think it's stronger than what people think. I think
Yeah.
love in itself, like true form, is something
Mhm.
so powerful that even like the powers that be, not God, but like the powers that be, government, whatever that is, the
Mhm.
big people who think they're in charge, I think they don't even want people to know that. Because if we all truly walked in the way we're supposed to walk in love, the
Yes.
way this world would be a completely different situation, is what they don't want. So I think that's why wars are done and all this stuff, to cause all this stuff. But even
Division.
in the midst, it's still a blessing in that, because even in the midst of all this stuff, there's still people falling in love. There's still people being, having love amongst themselves. Like no matter what adversity happens, there's like love is the one thing that always survives. That's
You gotta
beautiful.
preach a word. Yes.
Beautiful, actually.
Mhm.
um that is true. That's the one thing that
Mhm.
survives no matter what. You hear it all the
No
time.
matter.
You'll have a war situation happen, but in the midst of that, something happened that was just an act of love or something like that. Like you have all these different stories in all these like crazy times or whatever, but in the midst of it, whether it's romantic or other kind of love, it doesn't have to be one kind of love. There's all these other
Mhm.
stories that are intertwined, and all leads back to love. And so I'm not
Mhm.
surprised that someone could be, on their last year or last months or last days and be so out of it, because again, I think that's because the veil is thin, and so they're kind of, you know
Yeah.
cognitively not fully there, and then they're probably on a lot of medication, and then
Yeah.
someone comes and that bond or connection is so strong that it's like, here you go. And I
Mhm.
think the same with like people who have dementia and Alzheimer's, stuff like that, because they'll
Yeah.
snap out of it sometimes in 1 second and be like, oh yeah, you're my kid. And then the kid will be like, wait, you didn't know that yesterday, but you know that today. Like I
Yeah.
feel the same thing with that. Sometimes the bond is just so strong that it's like you can't. I love it though. I love when that happens. I truly do.
No, thank you for your feedback on that, because I was like, I'm curious now that we're bringing up these different accounts, but that makes a good point, y'all. And she is so right. Love just it conquers all. It tells us it just it listen that it is. It's very powerful, and it will win every single time. It trumps everything. No
Yes.
pun intended.
Oh gosh, yeah. Exactly. And it's so
Hmm.
funny because all the religions and stuff like that, which if you're an adult, I hope at this point you've realized that actually more religions are more similar than we really thought, or maybe we're taught initially. It's actually more similar than we think.
Hmm.
But that being said, there's so many different things that are, like I said, similar in between. And one of those things for sure is love. I mean, I can't think of one religion that doesn't speak of love a certain type of way. and that
Mhm.
kind of connection. So I think people should tap more into it. And again, I'm not talking about necessarily romantic love. It's just about that connection and that bond with someone, whether it's romantic or not. Um, it's something we all need, you know?
Yeah.
So,
We do. We need it, y'all. We need more kindness, more love, be more forgiving, understanding, be more empathetic. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, like don't take out everybody's problems and how they're feeling, but have more
Mhm.
compassion for people. That's what we're missing. It's definitely what we're missing. People are so about themselves nowadays, and it is so sad. Y'all, I could stay on this topic for forever, but
Me
just
too.
from 2010 up until current day, like
Mhm.
the atmosphere of people has changed so much. Humanity is not the same.
We're all only here one
Mhm.
time, unless you believe in reincarnation. But like for the most part, we're all here for one time, and this is our first time doing this, as far as we know, most of us. You know what's helped me when I'm like mad at someone at work, allegedly, or even a family member, or just someone like
Mhm.
that, if it's not abusive situation. What's helped
Mhm.
me give that person grace, or at least not go off on that person, is to think of them as a kid, because we were
Oh my
all
God.
children. We are all children who were forced to grow up. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Um, like we all played on the playground. We all did that. Like we were all kids. And if you think of that scary monster person at work as a little snot nosed 3 year old, you're like, dang, wow. You know,
Mhm.
you're not going to probably cuss her out as quick. You know what I'm saying? And so that's
Yep.
helped me a lot. But it's humanizing, I guess is what I'm saying. It humanizes the person. And I feel like at the
Mhm.
core of it, we don't humanize people enough now in life. And again, it comes back to love. But yeah,
That's good.
definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you take a different approach, it does make you look at the situation a lot different.
For
Because you're
sure.
like, okay, well, maybe this person was just going through something, or everybody has an off day, like a bad
Yeah.
day. So maybe that's the thing. And it helps you get through that moment. Because if you think about it, yeah, it might feel like you just had, well, I'm not going to say rage, allegedly, but you
Yeah.
you have those quick feelings like, dang, this person is getting on my nerves, or you just feel really irritated in that moment. It gets heated real quick. But then after
Hmm.
you think about it, you're just like, okay, well, the moment's over with now.
Yeah.
So that's some good tips right there. Y'all take,
Oh,
if
it
y'all
don't
have to,
always work. It don't always work.
right,
But
right.
it works a lot. It does work. Yeah,
Hmm.
sometimes.
Hmm. I love that.
I love this
Y'all, this has
episode.
been such Yes, this has been such a really good episode, and thank y'all for hanging around for not one but two parts. Okay,
Two
this
parts. You get a badge.
yes,
You get a sticker. You get a trophy. You get a card. Just kidding, allegedly.
right.
Not a card.
But this is such a good discussion, such an enlightening one. I feel like we'll get a lot of feedback from you guys down in the comment section. So don't be scared. Put your thoughts and opinions down there. And let us kind of know some of your experiences. We could have your comment maybe featured on our next episode and have like a little story time. So you never know. So please don't be scared to interact with us. We love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Like Maria J said, let's go have a party in the comments. I love saying that because that's truly what it is. We'll definitely be responding to all of your guys' comments. And so it's just a great place to let us know your ideas as well. If you heard something today and you were like, oh, yeah, I love Sinners. Like, can you do Sinners? We might bump that episode up quicker than we normally would have, because if that's what you want to see, we're going to get the people what they want to see. Or if there's
Yeah.
something you didn't hear from us today and you want to know more about that or hear us talk about that, then please put that in the comments. So we value your suggestion.
Yes, for sure. So thank y'all so much for rocking with us this episode. Make sure that you do go ahead and follow us on Spotify and YouTube at Vibes and Side Eyes Podcast. And as always, until next time, we are bringing you the vibes
Side eyes.
and we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.